I'm gonna watch it. No one's gonna stop me. I remember Asan did those otaku lyrics before. Yeah, and he became
The
a
movie begins with a young man named Gao.
VTuber now. That's really great. He did came to my stream last time. He's really big. Really big. I didn't know why I didn't reach out. I'm too shy, I guess. For big people.
Lying unconscious in a wrecked car at the bottom of a cliff. Jing, a native village girl, stares at the car from a distance. A few moments later, Gao wakes up and leaves the car, stumbling across a stony terrain. He barely walks a few meters away from the crash site before Jing approaches and knocks him out
Jing?
with a stone. The scene shifts to 8 hours before the ghastly car accident. Gao, who is a gem hunter, is joined by Shana, his dealer, and Kin, his technician, as the trio stands on a sidewalk. There, Gao spots
Why is everyone so young and professional? This is not right. It's supposed to be old people. Come on. You can't be a young, hot gem hunter and a young, hot gem dealer and a young, hot some guy at the same time. Nothing's gonna stop me now, by the way. I enjoyed that song from Samantha Fox in 1987, bro. That's cool.
two sketchy men in a car closely watching him
Damn
from
sketchy
down the
people.
street and immediately realizes that they're hired thugs. Gao bids Shana and Kin goodnight before entering his car and driving off. As he anticipated, the men also start up their engine and closely tail him. Gao hits the gas and speeds off, prompting a fierce car chase which causes the accident. Back in the present, Gao wakes up and finds himself in a primitive but strange village. Here,
Oh no, it's a primitive technology channel. Seems kind of like a YouTube channel to me. They're making primitive videos.
women are the dominant gender as they hunt and provide for their families, while the men do chores and take
Oh man, I thought it's like the only male island. I mean, place. There's also male. So the female do all the job, all the man's work, and the man doing all the women's work by taking care of children and do laundry and stuff. Cooking maybe. Seems kind of fair. I don't mind that.
take care of the kids. Fathers are the homekeepers and cook the meals, while the mothers serve as guards and soldiers,
Bro, that's
protecting
nice.
their husbands. The village is a
Hot
secluded
wife.
area completely cut off from the outside world, as they have no technology or knowledge of any scientific products. Gao also learns that Xing is the queen.
Scientific products. Why do they so look beautiful? Huh? What's this? What's this BS? Hello, old dad. Ayo Yasu, welcome to stream. You're missing out the reaction here. Watching a movie right now.
Queen of the tribe, and is astonished to discover this. Initially, Gao disbelieves her and assumes that the villagers are just nerdy cosplayers with great costumes and a
Yeah. Tell yourself that. Feel bamboozled yet? I know I get bamboozled. It only happens in anime. Damn it. I mean, if I get lost in an island, I'm pretty sure they won't be using tops. Exposed boobas. That's where it is at.
the perfect setup.
Exposed
He
boobas.
curses at Xing and the rest of the women, which annoys the beautiful tribe leader. Xing is pissed at his attitude and keeps Gao in a wooden cage as punishment.
Yeah, no
Later,
horny, bro.
Gao realizes that they are indeed real people and decides to return to the city as soon as possible. However, Yun He, the tribe's astrologer, tells Gao that he can't leave the village without Xing's permission. After a few hours, Gao begs Xing to release him from the cage and take him to his car. Xing, though skeptical, decides to have mercy on him and obliges. The two head back to the crash site as Gao searches his car for useful supplies. Gao finds a metal bat in the trunk and playfully swings it around. Mistakenly, he hits Xing on the head, causing her to pass out on the floor. Gao seizes the golden opportunity.
Wait a minute. She got hit on the head by that spiky bat. She could be dead. What? Okay, she's still alive at least.
To
Good.
escape and wears a backpack as he runs into the nearby woods.
I don't
A
have
few
to
minutes
worry
later,
about the girl.
car's fuel tank starts leaking, and
Oh
soon
no.
Shing is surrounded by a ring of blazing flames. The villagers
What?
spot the fire and quickly rush to the scene as they pour buckets of water to extinguish the flame. Gao hears the villagers screaming from the woods and feels guilty for leaving Shing behind. He rushes
What
to
they
the
can
scene
do?
and pours a bucket of water
That
on
Areku is
himself
old.
before
Come on,
entering
I'm not
the
that
fiery
old. I'm
ring
still
and
young.
carrying Shing out of it. Right as they leave the site,
She
the
could be
car
dead.
explodes and the duo lands in a nearby pond, much to the villagers' relief. In the following scene,
That took some time for the car to explode. What the
Gao
fuck?
is back in the village and finds his phone in his backpack. He plays a song on it, which attracts Xing's attention as she rushes into the room. Xing
Oh no, she's hearing K-pop. Oh no, they're gonna be BTS. The hell happened?
fears the strange device and tries to smash it, but Gao assures her that he's
device is
harmless.
good.
He offers her his earphones, and the duo listens to the music together as Xing falls asleep. Moments later, Gao lays a sleeping Xing in bed, after which
They're actually, you know, why she slept so fast? She's actually hearing Vox Akuma's ASMR stream podcast.
he frantically searches the room, hoping to find a map that can lead him back to the city. In the room, Gao ecstatically finds a sapphire gemstone and decides to ask Xing about it when she wakes up. The next morning, Xing tells him that the sapphire was a gift from her dead mother. A greedy Gao offers her several items, such as a bowl of instant noodles, a novel, and even his phone, in exchange for the stone. However, Xing refuses to part with the gem, explaining that it is her most prized possession.
It's
Gao is
from her mother. What the
disappointed,
fuck
but
are you?
resolves to
Don't
steal
do
the
that.
gem instead. Later that day, Xing asks Gao
He's gonna
to meet
steal
her
it
in an open
instead.
field
Nice.
at night so they can watch the stars together. Gao
Ooh.
accepts the offer as Xing sheepishly smiles and leaves his shed. That night, the duo lay on the grass and stare at the starry sky.
They're having a
Suddenly,
Sao
Xing
moment.
pounces on Gao and tries to remove his clothes, much to his surprise.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I didn't know girls can be this horny. Wait a minute. This is a sexual harassment. Well, not in the female-dominated world.
He throws her off, and the two get into a heated argument. Gao is shocked to discover that in the village, to watch the stars means to have sex. Hence, why Xing pounds
Oh, that's why. Oh, why didn't you give me the memo of that?
on him. Suddenly, Gao sprints to the village to escape, with Xing in hot pursuit. Xing is angry at Gao and imprisons him when they return to the village. Gao explains to Xing that he didn't know the phrase's hidden meaning and took it at face value. He also states that where he comes from, people express their feelings romantically, like confessing their love when it snows. Xing finally understands Gao, but still has him spend the night in the cell while she returns to her shed. Back in the
Bruh.
city, Shauna and Kin earnestly search for Gao, to no avail. They check the road where his car swerved off the cliff, but are disappointed to find nothing. Kin uses a drone to search the area, but a magnetic field disrupts the aircraft and causes Kin's monitor to go blank.
What is this,
When
a
the duo
Bermuda
return
Triangle
home, they
thing?
meet Lee Ann, a businesswoman with whom Gao signed a contract. The contract
Ann.
mandates Gao to meet with Lee Ann every 15 days, and failure to do so attracts
Wait a minute, this happened? Or no way this happened.
a 60 million fine. So far, it has been 13 days since his disappearance, so Leanne has come to find him. Shauna lies that Gao took a trip to the mountains and will be back soon. Leanne is unconvinced, but gives the duo 48 hours to find.
See how hot the suit is? Come on, you gotta agree with me. Suits are hot, okay? Damn, it's a joke, Reku. Of course it's not happening. No, God. Like, wait a minute, this thing happened in real life? I didn't know there are tribes that some local people that are not aware of yet.
Find Gao before she takes action. Back in the village, Xing takes Gao to the woods. Xing confesses her love for him and asks him to marry her as she dumps a bucket of chicken blood on him. Apparently, Xing misheard him last night and thought he said blood instead of snow, as both words sound similar in Chinese. Gao is pissed at her and walks away in frustration, but is caught in a trap shortly after. Gao desperately begs.
I mean, you gotta admire the effort on the whole blood and snow misunderstanding. At least she gathered some blood. Well, I mean, they're quite big. You never know that is true. There's still lost tribes out there. Restricted, though. There are well-known tribes out there, but still restricted to enter because it's dangerous. But not sure how they survive, though.
Begs Xing to free him from the trap. However, Xing asks him to accept her wedding proposal before she does this, and a defeated Gao ultimately agrees. On their way back, Gao
I wish this happens to me, man. It just forcefully kidnaps me. Forcefully making look at wind, a moon, and have sex. Well, that doesn't happen.
finds one of the blades of Qin's drone lying in the bushes. Seeing this, he registers that his friends are looking for him and decides to escape from the village as soon as possible. That night, Gao and Xing converse and decide to get married the next day. Gao
She got
asks
addicted
Xing
to the
about
phone
village's
already.
terrain and learns that there's a secret cave in the forest. He figures that the cave is an exit from the village and plots to use it to escape. Gao also learns that the village has a wine reserve and begs Xing to take him to it. She obliges, and the duo heads to the village's central pantry. Without
bonker
her
with a
knowledge,
bat.
Gao drops some sleeping pills into the wine barrel as a ploy to knock out all the villagers during their wedding. Later, the couple returns to Gao's room, and Xing offers him her sapphire stone as an early wedding gift. Gao feels guilty, but collects the gem anyway. The following night, the couple has their wedding ceremony and observes the tribe's unique rites
Oh no.
as Xing goes down on one knee and confesses her love for Gao. Gao accepts her to be his wife, after which the villagers sing and play a love
Bro,
song
you scummy,
as
bro.
the newlyweds
Scummy.
dance in unison. To end the feast, Gao proposes a toast and urges the villagers to drink their respective bowls of wine. The unsuspecting natives swallow the drugged drink, but Gao tosses his away when no one is watching. A few hours later, the villagers all fall asleep, while Gao packs a bag and leaves the village.
Isn't this illegal? Some women also work as guards at Tuas and Woodlands checkpoint. Ooh, that's nice. I think there's some other too, like protecting a border in Turkey, I guess. I remember that.
He goes through the woods and eventually reaches the cave, which connects to the outside world. Determined, Gao enters the dark cave and begins his journey to the city. The next morning, he finally reaches the end of the cave and races to the top of a mountain, smiling as he sees a nearby road. Back at Gao's house, Lian arrives with her men as the 48-hour deadline is almost over.
Anyway, have fun streaming, Areku. I should sleep now. Oof, night night everyone. Yeah, good night Susuyu. Thank you very much for like hanging out here. It's like 2:32 a.m. here. I mean, for me. Dang, I bet it's really late for you there as well. Good night. Bye-bye.
Lian asks Shauna and Qin about Gao's whereabouts, but the duo
Gao
reveals
Gura?
that they have no idea where he is. Hearing this, Lian offers Shauna a contract that would transfer ownership of the house to her. Shauna refuses to sign the paperwork, but Lian gives her no choice. The businesswoman signals her men to hold the duo hostage, as Shauna is forced to sign the paper.
That's not right.
Fortunately, Gao barges through the front door right in time to stop them. Qin takes advantage of the distraction and swallows the signed contract, while Gao speaks to Lian. Ultimately, the businesswoman leaves the house and promises to keep in touch. When she leaves, Gao freshens up and shares a meal with his friends, who ask where he's been this entire time. Gao wants to protect the villagers from the outside world, so he tactfully avoids their questions and lies to his friends. After their meal, Gao shows them the sapphire gem he got from Xing. The duo marvels at the stone in disbelief, as they haven't seen a sapphire of that size in years. Finally, Gao hands the gem to Shauna, alongside a soil sample from the village for testing. Later that day, the trio visits Gao's uncle, Wen, at a nursing home, and
Wen.
puts on a clown costume to entertain the elderly occupants. That doesn't look entertaining. That looks scary as hell. In the following
That is
scene,
true.
the villagers wake up and
How is that
frantically search the
entertaining?
area for Gao. Xing is heartbroken
After
by
this, we're
his
gonna play some indie
disappearance,
games,
and
bro.
soon after figures that he escaped along with the gem. Overcome with sadness, she decides to go to the city to search for him. The villager's astrologer, Yun He, initially disapproves of her heading to the city. However, when Xing begs her, Yun He takes Xing to the cave's entrance and warns her to be careful of the city people before the queen departs.
The city
when Xing
people.
arrives at the city, she runs into Yi Tian, a famous astrology social media
Hey, let's
influencer
go.
who is searching for a female co-host. Xing's strange attire and quirky behavior pique his interest, and he offers to sign her to his company. Yi asks for her manager, but a confused Xing merely hands him a card that Gao left behind in the village. Yi finds a number on it and traces Gao to a a nearby nursing home. At Xing's request, Yi drives her to the revealed location to look for Gao. When they arrive at the nursery, Gao spots Xing from a distance and runs before she sees him. He hides behind some bushes and observes Xing as she searches for him. Xing eventually gives up and walks towards the home's exit, but immediately turns around when she hears Gao sneeze from a nearby bush. Gao pops out with his clown costume, but Xing doesn't recognize him and merely watches as he jumps away. Sneezing bushes and clowns, the modern world must seem bananas to Xing. Moments later, Xing joins Yi in the car.
That is true.
And the duo
The modern
drives away
world
from the home.
do be
While
crazy.
conversing, Yi tells an ignorant Xing that clowns aren't real creatures, but are mere humans wearing masks. Xing is astonished by the revelation and figures that the strange clown she saw at the home was indeed Gao. She begs Yi to return her to the nursery, and the media influencer obliges. Sadly, when they reach the nursery, Gao and his friends are long gone, and Xing is left disappointed once again. Yi volunteers to take Xing to his house, but the tribe leader refuses and sits on a pavement in front of the nursery, declaring that she'll wait for Gao to return. Yi desperately tries to get her to leave, but she refuses and even remains seated under the pouring rain. Meanwhile, Gao feels guilty for hiding from Xing and gets Qin to find her location.
Yeah,
a few
bro.
minutes later, Qin
That's
informs
so
him that Xing,
trash.
together with Yi, is still at the nursing home. Gao thanks Qin for his help and immediately drives back to the nursery. There, Gao spots Xing sitting in the rain with Yi beside her. He
Yeah, you
pulls up
feeling
in front of
jealous
the
yet?
duo and winds down his window. Xing is shocked to see him and immediately grabs him by his shirt. Gao frantically begs her not to punch him and comes up with an absurd lie, stating that it is wrong to hit people in the rain. Xing is naive, so she believes him and enters his car as he drives her back to his house.
Bruh, she can believe
Immediately
anything
after they
now.
arrive, Xing points her crossbow at him, but Gao manages to calm her down and puts the weapon down. Xing asks Gao to return her sapphire. However, the cunning gem hunter distracts her by offering a cake. Xing tries the sugary treat and forgets about the stone as she viciously munches
Bro,
on it,
smart.
savoring its foreign taste. When she's done with her meal, Xing spends the rest of the day exploring the house as she adapts to the new environment. She shoots an arrow at the television set, thinking it to be a monster, but Gao explains that it's simply a gadget that can't hurt her. Xing is fascinated by the modern world and celebrates as she swings a punctured feather pillow, making a mess of his house. The following day, Shauna visits Gao and is shocked to find the living room in a mess. Shortly after, Xing approaches her while eating a bowl of instant noodles. Shauna snatches the dish from Xing and demands to know who she is and what her relationship is with Gao. Xing is pissed off by Shauna's
Yeah.
attitude and grabs her by the face as the dealer screams in fear. Gao is woken up by the scream and rushes downstairs to find out what happened. He finds Shauna wrapped in a blanket with a cloth over her mouth. Gao quickly frees her
Bruh.
and is horrified to learn that Xing is responsible. Shauna is furious and asks him who the strange-looking girl was. Immediately, Gao grabs Shauna and takes her to his room upstairs.
Oh, no.
Then he comes clean and reveals what happened when he went missing. Gao explains that Xing is the queen of a secluded matriarchal village where women rule and men are submissive. Shauna initially disbelieves him, but realizes he's telling the truth when Gao shows her Xing's native crossbow. In the living room, Xing hears a knock on the window and is shocked to find Yi outside the house. She
Hey,
rushes to the door
it's the
and tries
guy.
to open it, but can't figure out how. With Yi's direction, Xing finds the door handle, but uses brute force to turn it, thus breaking it. Eventually, she gives up trying to open the door and breaks it entirely. Gao and Shauna hear the sound of the crashing door
How
and
strong
rush
is she?
downstairs to find what happened. Gao is livid to find Yi in his home and drags him out before locking his gate. However, Yi refuses to leave and reveals that he knows Xing is from a secluded island. Gao is shocked to hear this and threatens Yi to stay away from her as he heads back to the house
Oh,
with Xing.
why?
The following
Are
day,
you jealous,
Gao
bro?
takes
Are
Xing
you
to a
jealous?
fashion store to get some new clothes. Xing tries on some outfits while Gao steps out to give her some privacy. Outside, Gao is astonished to see Li An approaching from a distance and is scared to have her discover Xing. Hence, he immediately hides behind a wall and closely watches as the stern woman enters the store. To see what happens next, watch the second part.
There's part 2 of it? Nah. So it's a series?
In series recapped.
It's a series. Oh, I see. I see what they did there. But yeah, that was a cool movie, I think. Interesting.